Hi, this is the Juice Man 3941. It's very early in the morning. I'm having some Killians, and I am playing a little Spacehulk Deathwing. Had to wait to get paid to download this one. I've been following the game for several months because even though I think the Warhammer Miniatures game is a complete piece of shit and everything, they cost too much money to get into to do anything in that game. I've always been fascinated by its world, from the fantasy settings to the future settings, going as far as back on the Xbox 360 and playing Warhammer Space Marine, and before that, playing Warhammer. There's a strategy game, and I never can remember the title of it, but it's a very fun like strategy game to play, and I played a lot of it back on the 360 days. Now we come to Warhammer Deathwing, which is based off the Death Angels kind of charter here. So, and I'm walking around on this giant space Hulk, which is, and with my two brethren here, and I'm playing the librarian class. There's different classes to choose from, and it's definitely what I refer to as a corridor shooter. Corridor shooters popularized by Doom. Doom being the most probably notable of the two. This is Unreal Engine 4, and I'm going to tell you right now, after following the game for a while and really looking forward to it, and it came out at its $30 price tag. I mean not 30, but $40 price tag. It's what I played of it so far, and this is the very beginning. It's interesting if you look. His sword actually has words written on it. It faithfully recaptures the war. It definitely recaptures the universe of Warhammer in the future sense, and it's excellent the way that they scoped it. They really did it. Some doors can be destroyable like that. It allows you to go forward. It captures the lore perfectly well, and it does have its creepy moments too because you're on this giant space Hulk. It is very, it's very lore heavy. They did a good job with the Warhammer universe and making that seem like really well fleshed out. Graphically wise, it does look really good. Is it the best looking game? I would say no. It doesn't. It definitely doesn't compare to Battlefield 1 or Battlefront 2 as far as Star Wars games are concerned. But it is a really well designed game when it comes to its controls, everything you can do in the game. It captures the space Hulk completely with its cathedral-like. Its cathedral basically built onto a fuselage that would probably go into space, which is fine. I haven't ran into any enemies. I just downloaded this here in the last hour. I wasn't playing this for a minute. I jumped on board to play some Battlefield 1 with a friend of mine. Unfortunately, there was a lot of quick scoping parasites on there, and who was trying to play the game like Call of Duty and basically ruined the whole game for me. I jumped off there, ruining the game for them, and that was fine by me because it was a small match between 2 and 3 people, these private matches, and I really don't care. Let them lose their points, don't care, I lose no sleep over it. This game is great. Like, its atmosphere and world building is great. If you look around here, it's really, really interesting. The ship design and layout is interesting because the whole time I keep telling myself I'm not on a planet, I'm literally on a ship, a spaceship, a giant space Hulk. It's ginormous, and I gotta kill some stuff. This is the first time I've encountered enemies in the game, by the way, which I have not encountered any enemies until this point, so this is pretty cool. Coming on board here. There are a lot of interest in what I've read about in this game and watching videos. There are secrets to the game. There are like nooks and panties and lots of maze-like corridors to go through, and so that you might understand the game better and whatnot. So there's hidden like items and different things you can do. And I like that aspect of the game. The AI that is with my companions are very competent, and the game oozes a lot of general environment. Like, I think they did a good job on that. Okay, here we go. Here's something I haven't seen before. This game is $40. It was on PC. This is the enhanced edition. It does include special missions and a variety of other new things. You can progress in your levels and skills and stuff now offline, which before I read that you could not do that originally, and so that's nice to see that. That you can progress offline. And again, if you are a fan of Warhammer universe in general, I think you're going to enjoy this game because it's got this great hook in its level design and exploration, and it's definitely a quarter shooter. It definitely takes cues from Doom. And again, you used to go like a badass, I'd say most of the time, because you're this giant hulking like space Hulk, Deathwing unit. The lighting is excellent. The Unreal Engine 4 does do a good job on it. I can command my squad. I don't necessarily have to like follow them, but it's just nice to have some competent AI companions. Sorry about yawning there. It is very early. I'm normally in bed about an hour ago or so, but like, this is great. This game I've been waiting on for a long time. It's got the exploration down really well. The checkpoint system in the game when you are going through this game is not, I would say, is not as forgiving as that I would like to say that most games should be. It is a good thing that you can take a tremendous amount of damage against the enemies, and that you are the fucking badass fucking, like, Deathwings.
Fortunately, my fears were well founded. May their shades fight on for the land.
An apothecary team is going to retrieve that broken land once the bridgehead is established. They will live on.
I have an anomalous signal return. Verify it first.
And again, the AI is very competent. This is just some gameplay footage from Spacehulk Deathwing Enhanced Edition. I totally recommend it. Even if you don't know much, to be perfectly honest with you, if you don't know much about Spacehulk, or you don't know much about the Warhammer universe in general, it's okay, because this game is just a fun corridor shooter. It tells me to pick this. I'm not sure how to pick it. I don't know what button to use to pick it.
Action complete.
It just tells me to pick up, but it doesn't. I don't know what to do. So let me do this real quick. Let me go into the options, check the controls. Just let me see if there's anything. I mean, X is used, so I don't know. There we go. Okay, so it was X. And this is a Relics of Past. The Great Crusade, throughout space, Hulk will cover them all. So, okay, it's just a relic. It's a reliquary.
Sensorium is showing multiple returns in your area.
No big deals there.
Vigilant.
Again, because it's got this great, like, corridor shooting. It does remind me of like Doom a lot, and it's not necessarily. I mean, kind of like the new Doom, but kind of not. It's just nice to play a game that has this maze-like corridor, like, and I'm always will be a fan of the corridor shooter because corridor shooters are just great. They're fun. They're maze-like. There's some exploration. I don't know what those machines are. I just keep killing them. I guess it doesn't matter. I like the fact that it's somewhat dark and yet somewhat lit up, so you never know what you're going to run into. That's the head bob, by the way. You can turn that to low or completely off, so that's kind of nice. I'm going to show you a couple other options. So, like in the options menu, besides your preset controller, there's a lot of different presets to choose from, and audio. So let's say you shrink the field of view down, for example, and that is going to give you the field of view that you want. So I'm backing up, so the field of view shrinks the actual field of view of what you're looking at on screen. I think by itself it's fine, like normally, so I usually just leave it the same because I feel like that it's fine. It is not optimized for the PlayStation because it was a PC title. There's a little bit of cutoff here and there, so you can't really adjust the screen at all, and I think that that's a shame. I wish you could adjust the screen. You can't, so you're just kind of at the mercy of like what the game looks like. Even though my arrow in the mini-map here on your right is showing where I need to go, it is important that to try to explore, because that's where you find a reliquary. That's where you find you know, things to kind of like check out in the game, and you find hidden things and stuff like that. Again, you have to keep clicking in the stick to run, the left stick. It's not you click in, you run until you decide not to run. It is that type of style. Parts of the different ship that I've noticed thus far are very different from one another, so you always feel like you're in a unique or different part of the ship. One of the things I will admit, and this thing I like here, so if I hit, this is a side gate, if I hit the touchpad, one of the things you do have the ability to do is go into the side gate and go back to a place where you can heal and adjust your loadout. Now, in the main menu on the customizer, there are different classes to play as. And so far, like this is where you do your different stuff, and it's like this is different characters you can play as, and you can like beef them up or whatever you want to do. So like, so far I only got the Stormbolter MK. I don't really have much in the way of anything that I can do in this particular faction, but it's nice to be able to stop what you're doing, to leave the game that you're in the campaign, go back to a little hub system. So if you need to upgrade or get different weapons and things you find, you're going to be able to do that. And that's a very nice thing about this game. And I love this. Look at this. Look at this lighting. Like, the game world really encapsulates, like, really well. Like, it's just well designed in its corridor-like shooting. Like I said, it reminds me a little bit of Doom in that respect. So this is where I'm supposed to be going. It's like it's a checkpoint. These are the Tyranids. They're coming in, fucking shit up. Hit them with that lightning thing is amazing. Does a lot of damage. This is nice. And again, you deal with this, and it kind of reminds me of Warhammer Vermintide in that sense. They're like boards essentially. And it's nice to like it's nice to like I love that lighting. Look at that. Look at that across the board. That's fantastic. That's great. Look at that. I love that. That's such a subtle thing. I totally recommend this game. You can play with people. You can play through the entire campaign
Reactivate
cooperatively, by
the
the way.
defense grid at any cost.
You don't have to,
Foes
like...
approach quickly. We must reactivate local
Like, you
defense
can
systems
legitimately
to
play
secure
through the
bridge.
entire campaign by your lonesome, or you can play with people, and that's a nice touch. That's nice to see in this particular title. Okay, I can't do shit there, but and again, I'm new to the game. Don't know much about. Like I said, I like the game because of this aesthetics. It's an interesting game. It's a corridor shooter. That guy obviously had a rough day at the office, so to speak. I like again. I like the aspect. I like the fact you trade off between the Tyranids.
We are receiving strange signal echoes.
So we're going on forward here. Between the Tyranids and you fight others, it's just an interesting game. I like the fact your Stormbolter has a very nice zoom. You can zoom in quickly. Psychic and lightning blast. It was great. It's just a fun game. It does remind me, and to be honest with you, and I know this sounds kind of crazy, but it both reminds me of Doom, and it reminds me of BioShock 2, which I think is a criminally underrated played game, because you feel like this hulking big beast of a thing. Like in BioShock 2, that was the feeling I got. Like, I really loved the fact that BioShock 2, I thought BioShock 2 was great, and that's what this reminds me of. It reminds me a little bit of both. If Doom and BioShock 2 had a baby, and this is the end result, and that's pretty cool, actually. You know, I think it's cool. And I dig that, and that's kind of where I'm at with it when it comes to this game. And again, I'm incredibly early on in the game. I've gotten nowhere. I literally bought this tonight on a digital download. I've been following the game for some time, and watching a lot of YouTube videos. And this game, literally, release date got changed twice on the console. So I'm glad it finally came out. And what I've played thus far, like so far, I dig it. The environments are great. It literally feels like Doom, literally crossed with BioShock 2 with this feel. And all these different boards too kind of reminds me of Vermintide. And Vermintide's a great game. I totally suggest that if you like Left 4 Dead. That's what this game reminds me of. It kind of has that same horde-like mind, mind thing going on, which is cool. Kill those bastards. This game is great, and the fact that you actually earn renown, you earn things, but you don't earn that until the actual end of the mission. The missions are kind of long. The checkpoint system is not as favorable, though. You have to really, like, kind of be like... I'm not saying that you have to be overtly cautious when playing the game, but you should be, because it can be tedious when you have to start over. I mean, when you have to start over and you're just kind of stuck at the mercy of the game's, like, at the game, it does kind of suck. So I will warn you, like, you could die, and then all of a sudden you're back to the last checkpoint, which might take a while to get through. So I love effects like that. Like you hit the pipe, flames came out. It's all good. It's not necessarily like, and again, as much as it seems kind of linear, there are aspects of exploration in the game. There are places to go. Stab the shit out of them. It does have that Doom-like corridor shooting, but because your character's so massive, you feel like the Big Daddy from Bioshock 2. Bioshock 1 Infinite Warfare, I would like to say, from this standpoint, I played through all of them, and to be perfectly frank with you, 2 is my favorite one of the series. And a lot of people always say that's crazy, you like 2 that much, but 2, I just felt was a much more highly underrated than it should be. I love how like even the environments in this game are very similar. They still maintain a level of like differences to make you feel like you are in different areas. I love that. It does have that Left 4 Dead. This guy kind of sort of has the Left 4 Dead kind of feel because of that reason. I love it. Oh shit, kind of. These forearm creatures to the mouse, they're the Tyranids, right? But it's funny how they kind of remind me of the forearm creatures that were in Infinity War. The Proximantari said we had a blood to spill. And it kind of reminds me how they're kind of similar. It's weird. But, you know, there is really no... To me, there's really no... I don't know what I'd say, like, completely original ideas. There's just thoughts. And they just try to change those thoughts for the better. But I love this game. What I played thus far, like, I was following it and was, like, really jonesing to play this game, and now that I've got my hands on it, like, I really love it. I think it's great. It's fantastic. For $39.99, you can't beat this. You want a Doom-like game with Bioshock-like atmosphere and similar gameplay, you gotta play this game. You just got to.
The activation of the generators has woken a dormant Gene Stealer swarm.
Okay, so we got a swarm.
It's time to establish the bridgehead to allow the main force to breach. Go to your assigned battle zone with your command squad.
Vengeance guides our weapons.
Word's coming in now, so. It's just so visceral. Ooh, that noise is crazy, man. Almost like aliens in a way. Like aliens campaigning and shit, you know? Almost like a night game. Psycho belly, fuck you.
vengeance God comes.
I hear the claws possess.
It's given me some tens of times. Guys, you've got to play this, especially in the headphones. It's amazing.
Slay without mercy.
This is really kick-ass. And the fact that the ship kind of double backs on itself a lot and the different pathways kind of has that Dark Souls almost like vibe where you everything kind of leads back to where you came from and vice versa. Yeah. Alright, kick ass. It was dope as shit. So good, so good. I totally recommend this thing. This is fun. It's a kick-ass thing. Objective complete. It is
Let us
secure.
hold income.
Position.
Yeah, horde coming in.
Glory to the Emperor. Glory to the Lion.
Action complete. We are not alone. The battlefield has fallen. Battlefield has been we are the angels of death. Vengeance guides our weapons. Pray without mercy. They are overwhelming us. Fury in my shield. We are not alone.
finishing hope now as we speak.
The Xenos are uncounted.
Why is this long?
Operation finished. The angels up here. Brothers.
My eyes are closed. I'm just shooting everything. I'm fucked.